Good morning, everyone. My name is Tori Boone. I'm in the zoning office in the Development Services Department at the base building. And I'm going to be showing you the new Boca eHUB, access to all permitting, planning, and business tax needs this morning. So the meeting is actually probably going to be a lot quicker than the time allocated for. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. It only took about maybe 15-20 minutes yesterday for the in-person sessions. So I'm going to go through all the different features of the system, and then if there's any questions, we'll do a Q&A at the end. Also, if you do have questions during the meeting, you can also use the questions button and submit those, and we will respond. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is, as you can see on my screen, this is the welcome page for the Boca eHUB. And first, the most important thing that you'll need to do is if you would like to apply for a permit, a planning application, or a business tax receipt application, you will need to register. So you would just go to the login or register button. And what it'll do is if you don't have a login, it's going to ask you to enter your email. It'll send you a link to the email to verify. And then once you click on that link, it'll bring you back to eHUB for you to fill out your contact information, and then you'll have your account. It is recommended that if you are with an office with a lot of users that work on the same projects that you do, that you use a general email address. That way, each person in that office has access to the records to monitor the application status, if they need to pay any fees, or if they would like to submit on behalf of your office. Otherwise, the alternative would be to add multiple contacts to that record, which can get a little messy sometimes. So we definitely recommend using a shared generic email address for your office. Once you're logged in, you have access to a quick link to our municipal code, so you can view the city code of ordinances. You can also go to your account to view the information that you filled out during your registration process. You could see your addresses. You can also see any invoices that have been invoiced to you or your office. Also, if you have any businesses, they will be listed here. Okay, I'm going to go back home. And next, I'm going to touch on the Search Public Records button. When you click on the search bar, you can enter different keywords about your project. So if you know the name of the project, you can search for that. You can also search by address. So I'm going to use an example. I search 6500 Congress Avenue. I'm going to get results across all different modules, whether it's permitting, planning, inspections, or licenses based on this address. You can see some basic information here. If you are not a contact on the record, you'll only see the available information that is posted for the public to see. If you click on the globe button, it will take you to a map view of that parcel. And it will zoom into the parcel there. And then if you click on the address here on the left, it will also open up the records that are associated with that parcel. So you could see if there's any permits, if there's any planning applications or business licenses, and even code enforcement violations on that property. So this information will be available to the public. I'm going to go back home and just show you that you can also access this map by clicking on the map button and search by address to get the same results. You can also see that there is an apply button here. This also gives you the opportunity to search by address and then apply for an application right from the map screen. And it's also important to note that all the records that are displaying on the property will be converted records that are active as of now that will be pulled over when we go live on Monday. And then any permitting, planning, or business license and code violation records moving forward. If you do have any questions on historical data or permits that were not active prior to our go live date, then you can still do a public records request online and receive that information from staff. Great, I'm going to go back home, and now I'm going to go to the apply card. And when you land on the apply card, it's going to bring you to the trending page, so you can kind of see what type of applications are trending within the city, what's being applied for. If you're logged in, you'll also have the history button. So if you are, for example, a contractor that does swimming pools, then you will automatically see the most recent applications for swimming pools that you've been applying for in your history. So a little bit of an easier access there. Then we also have it broken down by different modules. So we have the business tax receipt applications. We have the building permit applications. And we have the planning applications. I'm not going to go through any specific applications on applying, but they are just questions that you'll have to answer per your typical application, and then you will submit those to the city. It's also important to know that you will be required to upload some simple documentation as part of your application. However, we are still going to be using our ePlan system for plan review. So once you submit your application, you will still be invited to ePlans to upload your drawings for plan review. And we'll continue that plan review how we're doing today. And also when you're in your application assistant, there's also an opportunity to open up the categories to help you search for different applications based on the categories they're put in, whether it's maybe a commercial building or a residential building. But if you simply know the application you're looking for, you can use the search bar at the top to look for your swimming pool, for example. Okay, I'm going to go back home, and now I would like to show you how you can request an inspection. So right now, if I click on the request inspections, I can see that this permit here has several different permit inspections. So I can click on the permit itself, and it's going to bring me to the summary of this permit. Right now, you can see that the progress of this permit here is shown in this pie chart. You can also see the workflow steps and what's to come. And then you can see your available actions to request an inspection. So you would simply hit the request button, pick a requested date, whether you would want it in the morning or PM. And then if you have any comments about your gate code or watch out for your dogs or any information that the inspector would need, you can put that in the comment section here. And then you would hit submit. So this is how you would request your inspections moving forward. The inspectors will receive this on their end. Okay, back to the home page. I'm going to go over the buttons here at the top. So I'm going to go to the dashboard. And this is your centralized location to keep track of all your different projects. So you can see all your plans, your permits, your inspections, your invoices, and your licenses. And you can also see what needs attention, what's pending, what's active, and what your recent projects you've been working on. And then also when you're applying, you have the opportunity to save your application as a draft. Maybe you're not quite ready to submit it yet, but you don't want to lose the work that you were working on. So you can save it as a draft and it will appear here in your dashboard as a draft. Again, here's your inspection, so you can see what's been requested, what's been scheduled, and what's closed. And then also your invoices. What's great about the invoices is that if you have payments that are due on maybe your permit, maybe a planning project, maybe even a business license all at the same time, if you have invoices, you can select all of those, add to cart. And just like a typical online shopping experience, once they're in your cart, You can hit checkout, enter your credit card information, and pay. Each project that the invoice is associated with will reflect that it's been paid, but all you have to do is pay in one payment. You do obviously have the option to choose which invoices you would like to pay for at the time. You do not have to pay for them all at once, but the option is there. Okay, I'm going to go back home, and just up here at the top is a quick link to our ePlan software. If you have previously used ePlans, then you can continue using your login. If you are new to our system and have not used ePlans before, when you apply for an application, you will also be invited to ePlans to create an account. You can also look at today's inspections, so you can see what you may have requested or what's been scheduled previously, so you know what's happening today. We also have quick links to the Development Services website on the city website. So if you would like to visit planning and zoning, building inspections, building permits, business tax, or code compliance, then you can access those quick links here. For code compliance, you can view code violations on the records here in Boca eHUB. However, if you would like to report a concern, that is still using the report a concern tool on the city website. Okay, I'm going to skip over here to the calendar. The calendar is specific to the user who's logged in. So you can see inspection requests on this calendar. You can also see any meeting dates that you've been scheduled for. Maybe it's a planning advisory review meeting that you're scheduled. You'll see that on your calendar. So this is specific to the user, just another way of viewing what's upcoming. All right, and then you have the support help contact info. This will take you to the city website for Boca eHUB, just a support page. We have contact information here below if you do have any issues, so you can reach out to staff and we will be happy to assist. And more information on the Boca eHUB page about the new system if you do have any additional questions. All right, so that concludes my presentation of the Boca eHUB site. I will now open it up for Q&A. And again, if you don't have a microphone or if you're having audio issues, you can also submit your questions in the questions tab. And if you do have a question, you can also raise your hand and I will unmute you. Okay, so I see a question here. It says, all the information we currently have on the system will keep showing on eHUB. Yes. For any active projects that you have right now, they will be converted over into Boca eHUB, so you will have access to that existing information in the new system. Where do I find the main page to create an account? On Monday, when we go live, you will be able to see the link on our city website, so you can access the new system and sign up. Could you please go over the public search sections again? If you click on the search public records, you can search for keywords or addresses. So I'll use the address I used before. Click search. And then you can see all the different permits, plans, inspections, and licenses that come up under that address. So you can see different information, what type of application it is, the address, the name of the project, and when it's been applied for. So it's just some basic information on this that is available to the public. Something I did forget to mention before is that you can also export these search results yourself. So if you want to download them as an Excel or save as a PDF, you can do so here. If you have any questions on data that was not active and pulled over to the new system, we are calling that historical data from the new system, then you would just submit a public records request to access that data. Okay, is there any way to track an inspector? Example, see how many inspections he has prior to yours. That is not a functionality of the system. You will get a scheduled time, just like we do now. Submitting a permit will remain the same, but the business process of that itself will remain the same. It's just going to be through Boca eHUB now, yes. If we are already using the system, do we need to register on eHUB as a new user? Yes. You will need to sign up as a new user, and your contact information will already be connected to your permit that was converted if it's an active one that we're pulling over. They would like to see the screen for the query if we export public information. So you would enter a file name, and then you could export either the first 1,000 results, which is the default, or just your current view. I'm going to do the current view so it doesn't take too long, but it will open up here as a CSV file. And it will just open up in Excel. When viewing the scheduled inspections, are they marked pass, fail, or partial? You will receive the result after the inspection is completed. Instead of filing online for old set of plans of a unit or building, we can now access that online with eHUB. It depends on what you mean by old. Any active permits and records moving forward will be available on eHUB. So if it is not something that was pulled over or converted at the time of our implementation on Monday, then it will be considered historical and it will be available through a public records request. ePlans files will still be available. If you have an ePlans account, you'll still be able to see your old records that you were a contact on. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Okay, I do see a hand raised. I have unmuted you, Christine.
Yes. Will it explain how to upload the documents if you guys want one PDF or separate PDFs, like for everything?
Good question. So with eHUB, when you're uploading any documents for these applications, they're only going to be documents, so they're not going to be your actual drawings for plan review. So in this case, you can upload just as one PDF, but when you do get invited to ePlans, you will still have to separate each individual sheet.
Okay, like the NOAs and stuff like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it'll tell us so. Okay.
It will, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Christine?
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I don't know if this was already answered, but if we have any inspections and stuff that we're currently doing, we have to and finalize next week, we have to go through the new system. So you'll be fully converted to the new system by Monday.
If it hasn't been scheduled yet, then it will be fully converted to the new system on Monday.
Okay, okay, thank you.
And if you scheduled it already, those inspections will be completed this week.
Okay, thank you.
Stacy Fox, you are self-muted. Stacy? Stacy, we can't hear you, so if you would like to submit your question in the questions box. I'm going to go back to Christine.
Oh, no, I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to bring up the contact information just one more time. If you do have any questions, you're welcome to submit your questions to the departments specifically. That being said, the link will be provided on Monday for you to log into Boca eHUB, create your account, and we'll go from there. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and close the webinar. Thank you all for attending.